Good morning, dear students. Here I am with the Indian Express newspaper. And today's date is November 4. So, let's begin today's session, okay? I'm here to read all the important headlines of today's session, and I want to make the session short. So, if you want detailed explanation of any news, then please comment down. I will provide you, okay? And I will give you the link of this PDF in the description below, okay? And download from there if you want to read it in explanation explained way, okay? So let's begin. Weekly dispatch down to almost half. US section kicked in from November 21, okay? Sign of pullback. Sharp drop in Russia oil export to India after US sanction. Refiners expected to source more from Latam, Middle East, West Africa. Delhi court discharges ex-secretary in coal block allocation case. Clips linked to Manipur ex-CM tampered with forensic lab, tells Supreme Court. In West Champaran, Bashan, BJP rides on goodwill for Nitish government deep in migration. Lalu turns out for jailed MLA. Crowds line up so do shadows of the past. So this is the detailed explanation of the first page. Read it in detail. If you have any doubt, then please comment down, okay? Study point to excessive groundwater withdrawal says 1.7 million at risk. Delhi sinking fastest among Indian megacities. Okay. Rare rodent born virus killed African elephant at Delhi Zoo. Auto spy. Can prisoner have mobile phone in open jail? Precinct High Court's order framing of SOP. Study on women safety in metro. Negligible number of non-functional CCTV. No blind spot. DMRC. Water bills. Private firms, malls may get late free waiver soon. This is also about the study. CGI led bench gives pollution watchdogs a week to submit affidavit. What is the plan to curb air pollution? Asks Supreme Court. Come next year, kids go to class 1 at age 6. Balvatika 1 at 3. Here's what to know. Supreme Court to pass order on regulating feeding of stray dogs on November 7. Three slum cluster near PM's residence get eviction notice. Cyber frauds tell man he is being probed for Pulwama terror attack. Take rupees 9 lakh. Okay. Harassment complaint against top cardiologist MCW writes to AIMS. JNU-SU election sets to be held today. From Bihar poll to campus issue, candidate face off in presidential debate. It's also about government and politics. Israel's foreign minister to meet Jaishankar today. Bengal SIR don't accept birth certificates issued after June 24 BJP to Election Commission. Drums flowers, rousing welcome for Omar in Jammu after first Darbar move in 4 years. Supreme Court paused Karnataka High Court's condition on movie ticket sales, upholds stay on 200 cap. This is also about Bihar Assembly election. Read it if you want. UAE to have India House set to declare yoga a competitive sports. Slide of Express Network, where it shows three sister mother child among 19 killed in Telangana bus accident. Speeding dumper hits 17 vehicles in Jaipur, 13 dead. Enforcement Directorate attach Anil Ambani Group properties worth 3,083 crore. Physics wala ad showing faculty driving through Gulmarg forest sparks ecological concern. FIR filed. Coimbatore College student abducted, raped near airport. Male friend trashed. Finally, we are at the editorial page, and it's one of the most important pages of today's session. So, what is the word of the day? Every woman's success should be an inspiration to another. We are strongest when we cheer each other's on. It's by Serena Williams, and it's a great thought of the day. Okay, let's read it. What is written in the editorial? What is the topic? The author is Sanjaya Baru. An Indian way for G2 engaging China seems to have become a means to manage the US. This situation requires new thinking. There was a time when it was believed in New Delhi that a good equation with Washington DC would in turn facilitates improved equation around the world in Europe, Eurasia and Asia. It was perspective that informed PM Manmohan Singh outreach to President George Bush that world had changed and those calculations no longer hold. We are in fact in a situation wherein better relationship across China will stand across Asia will stand India in good stead in dealing with the West, both the US and Europe. Okay. So what Sanjay Baru want to say? Just read it, okay? With a tweet in all caps, the G2 will be convening shortly. United States President Donald Trump declared for the record a power shift with that has been long in making. It was in 2005 that American economist Fred Burgeston published a book titled The United States and the World Economy, in which he proposed the idea that the US and China could be a caucus of two that right. Okay, remember the word. Focus of two that could together work and ensure sustained recovery of the global economy. Okay, the idea was quickly picked up to suggest that the two leading and dominant economies of the West and the East could in fact constitute a geo-economic uh, condominium that would help manage the world economy. It was a geopolitical concept, but a geo-economic one. This part, Bergstens, who went to suggest G2 could substitute G20. Okay, where he didn't think about G2 viewed as a managing world economy. Okay, managing the world economy, but rather as cooperating to ensure speedy global economic recovery. Okay, it was the transatlantic financial crisis, where global financial crisis that gave further currency to idea. American politicians, strategists like Henry Kissinger pushed the idea forward. The reason for this was simple. Two impact consequences of TAFC, the transatlantic economic, especially the US, Britain, Germany, Italy, and France, to increase its in China's share of world income and trade. More importantly, China came to the risk of the world economy. Okay, help, just a sec. China came to the rescue of the world economy, helping both the US and European Union bounce back from the 2009 crisis. It had initially done so in the neighborhood, rescuing Thailand and Indonesia after the 1998 Asian financial crisis. In 2009, it was in fact bailing out the world's biggest economy. The US Treasury Secretary at the time has recorded in detail China's role in helping both global and American economic recovery. China did unleash massive fiscal stimulus, protecting the US dollar and sustaining world trade in post-crisis year. Okay, where the underscore complex link between US and Chinese economics. It was against the background that US strategy like Edward Luttwak, Robert Blackwell advocate the geo-economic containment of China. Trump adopted the Luttwak line during his first term in office with the enthusiastic support of his trade policy strategic. Okay, so the president, just a sec. So the president initially went to the step further, advocated relinking the US and Chinese economy. This view soon changed to suggest the two economies cannot be linked, but that US economy should de-risk and reduce dependency on China. Okay, so the Trump went back to initial strategy of pursuing trade war China, but against the rest of the world, the strategy seems to have run its course. Okay, where allies like European Union, Japan fell in line, Brazil and India have stood their ground. It is China ability that in fact retaliate. It seems finally put paid in Trump trade war. Okay, so they mainly talk about the trade war between US and China and how other countries interrupt in it. And still with this condition, with a lot of ups and downs, China kept his economy in balance. Okay, so the US president come around and considering the world two biggest economy must indeed work together. The revival of G2 idea also stands in contrast to Trump's disinterest in G20. This is important line. This shows the mindset of the Trump. Okay, what does this mean for India in his outlonging foreign policy? So the External Affairs Minister said India's policy of multi-alignment would require to it engage America, manage China, cultivate Europe, reassure Russia, bring Japan into play, draw neighbors in extend the neighborhood and expand traditional constituencies of support. It would be fair to say today that thanks to Trump, India is now required in fact manage America and engage China while continuing to reassure Russia. Okay, these are the words by the External Affairs Minister. So here I will read the end of this paragraph, and the conclusion says that the calculation no longer hold between the US, China, Europe, and other countries. Okay, where the better relationship across Asia will stand India in good stead in dealing with the West, both the US and Europe at Kuala Lumpur. Jaishankar reflected on way forward with hopeful and reassuring observation. Change has a life on its own, and the world will inevitably respond to new circumstances. Adjustment will be made, calculation will come to into play, fresh understanding will be forged, new opportunities will emerge, and resilient solution will be devised. Clearly a new India way forward indeed. Okay, so this is the main idea. A field of her own, intolerable toll. So the message from champions World Cup win may finally silence women's cricket's spectacs. Shivani Nayak. What she say? Loving cricket means living with these inevitable heartbreak. It does not call for telling women cricketers that they are living off revenue generated by the men. The 2025 moment is not strictly comparable in 1983, but this World Cup wins will likely spark future women players such harassment. Okay, so this is the idea page. Let's move on to the economy and the explanation page. The explanation page, the first topic explain about the law, where the topic is an advocates be summoned by agencies what Supreme Court held. So this is about the politics. Karpuri Thakur, this election. In 1970, Thakur planted the seed of transformative affirmative action for backward caste that PM Modi launched NDA's poll campaign from Samastipur, Thakur's home turf, in testament to his enduring legacy. How written off long through instead of is through insurance is poisoning a football problem of for football association. Okay, so this is about world where Pakistan China testing nukes. Trump justifies newly announced test. Okay. Attack test fragile truce. Israel receives remain of three hostage returned, 45 Palestinian bodies. US cooperation not possible while it backs Israel, says Khamenei. Ukraine gets more air defense system to counter Russia strike. Arrest in Louvre has so power of France 4.5 MN, a strong DNA database. So this is about the economy. Read it in detail. Okay, I will read the headline. You will read each and everything in detail. Okay, through PDF. Mary Mystery files caveat petition before Maharashtra Charity Commissioner. Removal from data trust. Mystery gears up for legal battle, seeks a fair hearing. PM meet exporters, labor intensive sectors, flag competitiveness concern. How GST 2.0 festival season demand led to record car sales in October. OpenAI, Amazon strike 3.8 billion cloud service deal, manufacturing activity strengthened in October PMI. Bangladesh payment dispute, Adani Power opt for arbitration. Okay, so here I'm going to end today's session. I hope you all like my content. And if you want PDF, go to the description and download from there. So thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe.